Happiness comes from progression. It doesn't come from having everything in the world. It doesn't come from avoiding the fact that you're not happy. It doesn't come from perfection or being perfect. It doesn't come from just more stuff. Like I said, more food, more shopping, more, that type of stuff. Those things can have an effect on your happiness to a certain extent, but it's more of your brain chemistry. It's more of dopamine hits and things like that. But where happiness truly comes from, when you want to break it down and truly look at it and truly find out the secret to happiness, the formula for happiness, happiness comes from progression. It comes from being able to track and see changes in real life that will make you happy because you're not stagnant in life. Anything that's stagnant sucks. It stinks. Stagnant water will start to have a smell to it because things need to be flowing. Things need to be happening. Things need to be in motion. That's what life is. Life is a verb. It is in action. You're alive. You're breathing. Your heart is beating. Your brain is thinking. You're loving. You're laughing. You're doing all these things in life. So that's proof within itself. But let's say that from a health standpoint, you go get a gym membership. You're going and hitting the treadmill, getting on the elliptical, you're lifting weights, and you're noticing physical changes in your body. Like you're looking in the mirror and seeing your body change in real time. You're either putting on more muscle or you're losing more fat. And you feel stronger around the house. You feel like you can move better. Your body feels better when you're getting up from the couch and things like that. And you're able to, like I said, in real time, track the results. You're able to see the physical changes in the mirror. You're able to look at the scale and see that the numbers are going down. And you move something around the house and you feel stronger. You're like, man, that usually sucks. I get winded mowing the grass. I feel more energized. Same thing with adding, eating a little bit healthier in that. You can see it changing in real time, and your happiness will start to increase because you're like, man, I feel young again. I'm starting to get in shape that I was in when I was in my college days or when I was in my high school days. I can wear this size pants again, or I feel strong. My back doesn't hurt. You have these realizations that lead to real happiness, not just a dopamine hit, not of eating a piece of pizza or a donut that is fantastic. Food is good. I am guilty of liking good food. But when you just watch Netflix and all you do is eat, you eat donuts, you eat pizza, you eat chips, and you just keep doing that same thing and you don't move, you don't ever go walk, you don't ever go to the gym. That's where depression and all these things come from, because you're thinking about it, you feel guilty for it, you know you should be better, and then each and every day as a human, you're as old as you will ever be, or as you're no longer going to be as young as you ever were, and you're always going to be less energized. So it's like a compounding negative effect on your health. Same thing with mental health. If you're doing the right things that you're able to track and monitor, like you're journaling every day, you're praying and meditating every day or at least weekly, you're going to see a therapist once a month or every now and then, or you have a coach like a life coach, or you have an accountability partner, you're speaking positive words, affirmations, things like that. Like you're speaking positive to your brain versus just being negative and thinking the world's against you. Versus you don't do any of that stuff. Who you think's gonna have a better mental health, mental clarity? And who you think's gonna feel happier? The person with mental clarity or the person with mental chaos? There's a reason. Finances. You have a strict budget. You try to put, align finances the right way. You're not just blowing all your money. You start paying off debt. You want to talk about happiness? Imagine watching your debt trickle down, or you're debt free and you're not living paycheck to paycheck all the time, and you can buy your kids Christmas presents on Christmas without putting it on low or without, using the credit card. These different things. You're able to finance and have a lower car payment because your credit's improving. Like you're able to actually buy a house or put a down payment on a house, or you're able to ever retire your parents or retire your spouse or retire yourself if you ever really start building, that money, building that financial stability and all that. Versus the person that is accumulating debt all the time. They keep getting more and more into debt. They keep adding more credit cards. They keep adding more debt. They're paycheck to paycheck. They don't know where they're, how they're going to eat the next day. They don't know how, if they're ever going to even afford a house, or if they might be getting kicked out of their house, evicted from their house. Who do you think's happiness is better or improving? The person that's tracking that. They're seeing in real time their debt decreasing or their wealth increase. That person's going to be more excited about life. That person's going to be happier. That person's going to be in a more peaceful state of mind. And you can keep going down the list. You can do relationships. The person that takes their significant other on a date and they're not looking at their phone all the time. They're surprising them. They know their love person or their significant other's love language. They know how to fill them with love. They know, all these things, versus the person that just takes it day by day. And your interest should be your significant other's interest, quote unquote. No, it's okay that your boyfriend doesn't always want to shop with you, and it's okay that your girlfriend doesn't always want to watch you play video games. Now, if you find somebody that doesn't care and is okay with that all the time, 100% of the time, then you're blessed and you need to marry that person. But just using that as an example, same thing, you can go with raising kids. You can go the same thing with your spiritual journey and growing closer to God or whatever, whoever you believe in or whatever you believe in. You can break it down to any pillar of life. But when you're able to track and manage and see real-time results, that's where happiness is coming from. It's from progressing. It's from getting better. It's from growing. It's from improving. It's from all these things that you see that life is actually more willing to live. Trust me, I gave you $1 billion. You're gonna want to live a little bit longer because you're gonna have so much money to spend. You're gonna have so much more money to do good in the world. You're gonna go have so much more money to give to family and loved ones. But if I give you $1 billion and you're gonna die tomorrow, one, you probably wouldn't pick that option. Two, that wouldn't be good for nobody. But if you were $1 billion in debt, you probably don't care if you die. And I'm not trying to get dark on this channel or anything like that, but truthfully, you're like, man, I might be better off dead because I don't have to pay all these banks back, all these people back. Same thing with your health. When you're just like, man, I don't even feel like getting off the couch because it hurts, or my back's always in pain, or I can't touch my toes, or whatever. My life, my longevity feels horrible. Versus the person that feels young. They're 70 years old and they still feel young because their knees feel good, their back feels good, they're still strong. They're not dependent on a nursing home or their kids to help them. That person probably wants to keep living. They're like, man, I still have my independence. I don't feel old. But somebody can be 30 and feel old. Somebody can be 80 and feel young if they take care of themselves properly. And so on. You're surrounded by loved ones. Your relationships are really good. Your family loves you. Your significant other loves you. You have good friends. You have a good social life. Versus the person that's lonely, depressed, always anxious, and feels like they're alone in the world. That's the people that have mental health issues in terms of wanting to not be alive anymore. And I'm not, like I said, I have a psychology degree. I don't speak bad about mental health and stuff like that. I know it's a real thing. But we do have a loneliness, epidemic or whatever you want to call it, where people are no longer getting in relationships or they don't even have friends. They don't even have a one trusted friend. Then they have loneliness. They're lonely. Who do you think wants to be alive longer? The person that's by themselves and feels alone in the world, or the person that has healthy, loving, thriving relationships, friends, family, and a lover? Its proof is in the pudding. So the secret to happiness, what happiness is defined, the formula for happiness, whatever you want to call it, is happiness comes from progression. It comes from progressing, getting better, moving forward, improving, all these things that I've already said, and keep stacking it up. Keep stacking your wealth. And if you're one of those people that are like anti-millionaires, anti-billionaires, that's fine. But I assure you, you don't want to be in debt. I assure you, you want to have a home that feels like a home. I assure you, you don't want to be paycheck to paycheck. I assure you, you want to eat and have shelter for your family. So still maximize your income. I don't care if it's $100,000 or if you live somewhere cheaper and it's $80,000, but like maximize how much money you make. That's still an important thing because that shows you can take care of yourself, your family. And if you have extra money and you don't care about money, give it away. Give it to charity. Go volunteer and give away money. So, have fun. But yeah, that's the secret is, get your health in order, get stronger, lose weight, be healthy. That doesn't mean lose weight unhealthily in unhealthy ways or to gain muscle to be a super bodybuilder and get on steroids. No, but stay strong, stay fit, stay, in good shape. Take care of your mental health as well. Seek therapy if you need therapy. If you don't need therapy, read books, have a life coach, have a, accountability partner, do things that are healthy for your mindset. Meditate, go for walks, whatever it takes. But keep striving to improve and get better and grow and progress. Don't stagnate. Don't stop. Don't stop building your wealth, your health, your happiness, all these different things. Don't stop. Progress and you will have happiness. That is the secret that everybody's looking for. So I hope this message resonated with you. I hope you got something from it. I hope it encourages you. I hope it gave you motivation to go out and improve and be better and keep progressing. But this was day 193, consistency. I encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from this, and follow along with the journey. But other than that, I wish you all peace and blessings on the journey.